Hello, future toppers. Welcome to a streak initiative of Civils Daily to ensure consistency in your day to day preparation. My name is Santosh Gupta, and I am here with you the most important questions for the Science Tech for Prelims 2021. And due to this ability to understand the demand of the UPSC for prelims, I was able to clear all my 6 prelims attempts with a score above 120 plus and up to 145 twice. So have patience and watch the questions and try to frame your own answers before I do. Okay, so let's start the first question. Consider the following statement about the India's aircraft carrier IAC-1. First is it is named as INS Vikrant. So we know that India's mighty aircraft carrier has been now named as INS Vikrant. Earlier there was an INS Vikrant also in 1960s and 70s, but which was decommissioned, and now we have one indigenously designed completely in India, that is INS Vikrant. So statement 2 also will be true. It is completely designed and developed in India. That is true. Third is 40-ton IAC Vikrant is capable of accommodating MiG-29K fighters and helicopters. So we know the basic function of any aircraft carrier is to carry the fighter jets, helicopters, and other kinds of war fighting equipment. So about the fact 40,000 that you might have to remember because it is a straightforward fact and not much difficult to remember. And now INS Vikrant has just been in the sea for the first time in this year. So it is now coming closer to become a reality. So India will now have the 3 aircraft carrier. No, India only will have the 2 aircraft. Earlier, all the aircraft carriers have been now decommissioned. INS Vikrant, Vishal, and others. India has only one INS Vikramadit that was bought from the Russia. So along with INS Vikramadit, India will have another INS Vikrant. So 1, 2, and 3 will be true here. So let's get to know more about the INS Vikrant. So it will have 34 fixed wing and rotary aircraft, MiG-29, Kamov 31 early warning helicopters. So you need both aircraft, fixed wing and other type fighter jets on the. It is like a moving airstrip. In case of war, if enemy destroy your airstrips in nearby area, so only option that you are left with a sea aircraft carrier which will be completely moving and protected from the like rocket launchers and uh, other mechanism, so that you can protect your helicopters and fighter aircraft. It will have indigenously built advanced light. Yes, of course it will have. So you will have you can place all LCA, Tejas, MiG aircraft, Rafale and others that on the ship itself, and it will be moving in the sea and protects both eastern flank and western flank. So imagine after some time India's both eastern part of the sea and western part of the sea will be protected. So in India will basically dominate the Indian Ocean, and it also have the very good cruising and top speed. So we are now coming to the world. Next question is again on the defense. Which of these ships have been inducted recently by Indian Navy at Eastern Naval Command of anti-submarine warfare? So we know that anti-submarine warfare are becoming more and more dominant because on the land warfare has declined. On the ship, it on the sea it has been increasing. We know that Chinese had tried to use torpedoes and other anti-submarines in the South China Sea and even Indian Ocean to check Indian capability and Indian vulnerability. So India has now been developing anti-submarine warfares such as corvette, which will counter those submarines. So it has recently inducted INS Karavati to counter such submarine warfare. So here you can easily eliminate INS Arihant because it is a nuclear powered submarine. It is not a anti-submarine warfare. Both are different. So recently, INS Kravati has been included. Other than INS Kravati, INS Kamrota, INS Kadmavat are of the same class and they are also anti-submarine warfare. But recently we have inducted INS Kravati. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following is correct about the global positioning system? I mean, all of us, we use GPS in phones, laptops, computers, and almost now everywhere. Even in the cars now it is being used, and it is used to track their positions. Even in now it being used in the, let's say, railways. So it is a position indicating satellite system of USA. So that is true. We know that GPS came from the USA. We get to know more about that later on. It has 24 satellites revolving in 6 orbit. So yes, the whole earth low earth orbit has been divided into 6 orbit, and of 24 satellites, and each have 4 satellites in their orbit rotating, and so that any object in the space will be at least in touch with the 4 satellites at a time to give the 3 coordinates x, y, z along with the one for the calculating the error. So precise system of GPS is known as a DGPS. So differential GPS is also used by United States government for defense and other purposes, and they have very good accuracy up to 10 meter. Now normal GPS will have up to 100 meter or even 300 400 meter of accuracy, but DGPS have is very accurate, and it has not shared this with most of the countries. Russian equivalent of GPS is called compass. So this is not true. Russian equivalent of GPS is called GLONASS. We have compass or Beidou by the China. We have Galileo by Europe, and from India, it is called Navik. Earlier it used to be IRNSS. So here your 1, 2, and 3 will be true. Let's understand the basic functioning of your GPS system. So you have 4 satellites in each particular time, and any object with a GPS receiver. Suppose your phone have a GPS receiver, it will be in touch with the 4 satellites at a time, and each satellite will broadcast a radio signal at the same time with precision, and those clocks will be set both in the GPS receiver and the satellite at the same time. And now the receiver will find out the time taken by the radio signals to reach to them. We know the distance, so we'll know the by the time we will know the how much time they are taking to reach. So that way you can calculate the distance from them. So if you know the distance from 4 fixed objects, known objects in a space, to a unknown location, then you can calculate their exact location exact with precision. GPS device received radio signals noting their exact time of arrival and use these to calculate, of course, that. And once we know the distance, then it use the geometry to get their exact location. So we in the right side you can see we have Galileo by Europe, we have IRNS by India, or Navik, GLONASS by Russia, and along with GPS. So now even government has made it mandatory for phones to have Navik in embedded. So along with using all these, any objects can be tracked in the space and time, and you can know the exact location, and that has been very much useful to the logistics industry. And tomorrow if you have the driverless cars, all thanks will go to the exact positioning by the GPS system. So 1, 2, and 3 will be true here. Moving on to the next, that is one of the very most important question. Consider the following statement regarding IND SEPI. And options are: it is one of the initiative under Atal Jai Anusandhan Biotech Mission. We know that government is very concerned about the COVID pandemic, and we are focusing on more and more vaccines, more and more research in this area, so that future date we might have a drug also apart from the available vaccine. So it is has now set up IND SEPI under overall scheme of the Atal Jai Anusandhan Biotech Mission. It will focus on the biotech products, vaccines, therapeutics to counter the pandemic diseases. So second option, it aims to develop affordable vaccines for pandemic. That will be also true. So 1 and 2 is definitely true. Innovative technology intervention for Swachh Bharat. We do need those innovative technology to like process all the waste being collected under Swachh Bharat initiative, all the solid liquid waste and along the all the other kinds of e-waste and other thing that has now been brought under the scheme of Swachh Bharat. But NDCP is not about the Swachh Bharat mission. Affordable generic medicine for all branded medicine. We know government promote the affordable generic medicines, but we know that there is not possible to create all generic medicines for all branded medicine because we have WTO and Indian Patents Act as a restriction over that protects the branded value of the branded drugs of company. You cannot have a generic medicine unless you are licensed or there until their patents expire, for that is 20 years. So fourth option will be eliminated automatically. Three will be you can eliminate also because CEPI, it is similar to CEPI at the world level, Coalition for Endemics Preparedness. So 3 and 4 eliminated. So you have 1 and 2 as a option, correct option. Now get to know the more about the Atal Jai Anusandhan mission. It is conglomeration of many of the missions, that is 5 mission, and one of them was just discussed, IND shaping developing vaccines for endemic preparedness. And it is Indi CEPI is now modeled after the global CEPI, and which is now just along with the Gabi you just discussed in earlier videos, Global Alliance for Vaccines, which is focusing also on the developing a portfolio of vaccines for the developing and developed countries, such as these examples: Moderna, you have Covishield developed by Oxford Vaccine, Novavax, then University of Hong Kong also, then CureVac mRNA platform, Inovio DNF. So all these vaccines are now being developed, supported by CEPI. It is a coalition of the individuals and NGO and wealthy corporate world which support their funding, R&D and distribution of those vaccines at affordable cost to the developing country. So it is modeled, Indi CEPI is modeled after CEPI, and it will involve government, private and corporate and also the NGO sector to develop vaccine for, and it is basically aimed for the future preparedness, because we know that occurrence of pandemic endemic is a reality and it will keep coming over unless our man environment relation is balanced, and which is not being happening for just in short time at least. Another initiative is GARF INI. We know for the maternal health and child, we still have high level of maternal death and child infant mortality death. So to for the thus that we have GARF initiative and overall mission Unnati, undertaking nationally relevant technology innovation. Clean energy, we know we are already all dependent up to 60% on the coal for the energy, and most of the villagers still live in the wood as they are using wood. So we are focusing more on the clean energy side, innovative technology such as for Swachh Bharat, to convert the solid waste and liquid waste into affordable and clean fuel. Biofortified and protein rich wheat for Poshan Abhiyan. We know that wheat and rice is the staple food for the most of the Indians, and under the Poshan Abhiyan now it is being biofortified so that nutrition level is okay, it is as up to required level, because now we already know that up to 35% of India has it malnutrition, and in case of children it is even more. They are facing problem stunting, malnutrition and also wasting. Then AMR for the affordable. We know that my antimicrobial resistance is a reality, and we are finding new variants, new resistant to microbes such as NDM1 or multi-drug resistant TB. So that is becoming another kind of endemic. So government has launched this scheme to develop affordable measures to counter the AMR also. Now to the last question on this page. Consider the following statement with respect to CMS-01. It is a radar imaging satellite, and 2, it will function as a continuation of GSAT 11 satellite. So if you look at the options 1 and 2 carefully, you know radar imaging is placed on the low Earth orbit, and also it is actually taking the photo over from the satellite to the ground and to be using various radio frequency. And second is communication satellite GSAT. So both option cannot be true, so only one you have to choose. And CMS is more sounding like communication, so mission life of CMS-01 is around 5 years. So this fact one has to know. So if you go by the communication satellite, then you will have the option 2 will true, and it is its life is around 7 years. So you have only option 2. It is not a radar imaging satellite, it is a communication satellite. All the GSATs are placed in the either geosynchronous orbit or geostationary orbit. So this CMS-01 has now been placed in the geosynchronous orbit, which is just above the geostationary orbit. And then so option 2 will be definitely be true. So look and this B will be true here. So let's get to know more about it. Will provide services, tele-education, because that has now been becoming more and more required during pandemic, telemedicine, similarly disaster management support and satellite internet. All these are required in times of pandemic. And it has been launched by the PSLV C50, which was at 52 flight. We know PSLV has been very successful, and in most of the flights have been successful. And second flight of XL configuration. So it is of heavier satellite. XL is used for the heavier satellites, and they are placed in the geosynchronous orbit. So that was all for the today, and thank you for watching today's video. If you have not joined the STICK initiative, you must join the STICK initiative, and also do join the Telegram group to get the questions of this video and summary of Yojana Kurukshetra and burning issue Rajya Sabha TV and other free materials for the prelims 2021. Thank you for watching.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update from Civil's Daily.